guys, so welcome back to Lex Reads. So as you can see, we are back with another chit chat video. I am so comfortable right now. I just got home and I haven't even eaten my dinner yet. I haven't even made it. First thing I did just to unwind is just to be around my books. And it is freezing today. As you can hear, I have my heat on and then I have my heated blanket. Y'all, when I tell you I'm so comfortable, where I do not feel like even making my dinner. I end up going in the kitchen, getting a protein bar, and I'm like, okay, that'll hold me over for a little bit. I want to just hang out, chill out for, the rest of the evening. That's basically what these videos, chit chats will be. Hanging out, kikiing, all of that. Most of us have been at work all day, so you just want to get home, relax, chill. So before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So for tonight, for some reason, it looks like I want to watch a movie, which I told you guys the last time. I love the Tubi movies, right? And I saw a comment about if I could recommend some of my favorite ones or tell you guys some of my favorite ones. I told you guys my favorite like actress for Tubi movies because there's a difference. Okay. My favorite actress for Tubi movies is Crystal the Doll. If you like urban fiction books, like where they are pushing weight, which means selling drugs, usually you got a little trifling man that he cheat on the girlfriend or wife, um, you know, kind of hood movies. You probably will like Tubi. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I do like them little Tubi movies. No shame in my game. Like I told you guys, they're so bad they're good. So occasionally, not occasionally, girl, all the time, we'll watch. Some of them. I started one on was it Sunday? With this one, I liked it, but I was like doing stuff and also trying to watch it. So I was like, you know what? I probably could finish it tonight. And there actually is a sequel. So it's called All About a Check. And then the second one is called All About a Check 2. And it has Crystal the Doll. And then it's another girl on here that I like. I don't know her name. But wait, let me go back. I think I might just start that over because I'm trying to think about what was happening. It's kind of like chronicles of these women. Um, one is a one is a dancer, which is Crystal the Doll's character. One is a nurse, but she's in medical school because she wants to become a PA, but it looks like she's having some trouble with paying it. Another one is her and her husband. They make beats or in a studio. Oh, girl. And then the last one, the young lady, she's really struggling financially, and she meets Crystal Doll's character, and it was like, you could probably dance. You got the body for it. You can dance and all that. And she's really going through it. Okay, financially, like it's bad. Like her and her people are living in a hotel. I'm gonna start that over again, and then I'm gonna watch and then I'm gonna watch the second one. I actually wrote it down for you guys. My top five. Okay. So the first one is He Played Me. I think this is like one of the first Tubi movies I ever watched. And this is based on a true story. And the girl is from Detroit. So it looks like, okay, wait. I don't want to watch it because I've seen it several times. I think Shelby Lee is the main girl. And this one, it says a woman trying to keep her family marriage together falls for a man she thinks offers love, but who is only out to destroy her piece by piece. And that's exactly what it is. And there is a second movie called He Played Me, and you see her life, after everything that happened. She went through some stuff, okay, dealing with another man she had no business dealing with. Third one is These Men for Everybody. I really like that one. I actually watched half of it. I remember my sister came over and we watched it, and I think it was late at night, and she was like, she's getting sleepy, so she had to leave. But I remember she texted me and said, "What happened to the girl?" um, this one is a group of friends, and y'all, these friends, They men obviously pushing weight. One of the girls is a hairstylist. The other friend just so trifling where she one of them women where you wouldn't want her to be near your man. She one of them. But you just see their lives, and their friendship and their professional and personal lives. It's really, really good. And then it has like a thriller aspect to it also. And then you gotta watch the whole thing because there is a twist. And it is a really good twist. Um, so yeah, that's another one. The fourth one I like is Faithful. That is again with Crystal Dadal. Crystal Dadal is also in These Men for Everybody. And that one, you have a woman, she's married, has a child, everything's going well for herself. She has an affair. And you can only imagine. Yeah. And then the last one is called Forever Us. This is not with Crystal Dadal. This is actually with Zanique. Y'all know Tiny from Escape, Tiny and Ti's daughter. She's in this. Who else is in this? Another girl that was in Love and Hip Hop. Um, wait, let me see her name. What's Lyric? Anderson. She the one. She was in Love and Hip Hop. I guess like the older ones. I watched Love and Hip Hop when it first came out. Like when I say first came out, when Chrissy and Olivia and Emily were on there, and then I just got disinterested. When I was younger, I was obsessed with reality TV. As an adult, I can't stand it. I just cannot take that anymore. But yeah, she's in that. Black China's in that, and you have a man. He's married. He has a good marriage, has a child, and everything. He start, but then he start messing with another woman, which is Zanique's character. She's a young woman. Um, and his wife is established. They're both established, but his thing is you not at home, you always in the office, and you're not showing me all of this attention. And so he gets the wandering eye and gets the attention from someone else, but you already know things are going to happen. So yeah, that one was good. Again, it does have a cliffhanger, but it still was good. But so far, those are like my favorite Tubi movies, like I would actually recommend. I would say one thing I do like about Tubi, not only do they do like, their original Tubi movies, but they also have other good movies, especially black movies on here. And they have a lot of independent films on here. Um and older films, like they got Precious here. I remember seeing that in theaters. That's a one and done. I think I've seen that movie twice. I don't need to see it multiple times, and I do not want to read the book, and I have the book. But I think what got me with Precious was the fact that, like, the mom was sexually abusing her. Because, a lot of times, which I know that obviously men are not the only ones that abuse women, obviously. But, a lot of times in the media, it's always like, when a woman gets hurt or whatever, you automatically think, oh, a man was, involved with it. And I think what got me was still having that mindset, but then the fact that your mama, oh yeah, if y'all seen that movie, y'all know that scene. That was much. Yeah, that's you got to get your mind right for that movie. And again, I have the book, and I can't. I would say that movie is worth seeing. It's a one and done. I think you should at least see it once if you can take, kind of trauma like that. It is worth and seeing. And Monique, she played that part, and she won that Academy Award because Monique is a comedic actress, and she did that. She honestly did that. But that's the one and done for me. Who else? They have what, The Color Purple on here. I've seen that multiple times. I can watch that over and over again. Um, they have Lakeview Terrace. Have you guys ever seen this movie? It's a really good movie. I actually remember watching this with my aunt. Um, this movie, Lakeview Terrace. It's starring Samuel Jackson, Kerry Washington. What's this white man's name? I remember him. He was in what do you call it? Patrick Wilson. He was in Phantom of the Opera, the movie. He played, is it Raoul? Um, that's really good. You have a cop. He's like a dirty cop, played by Samuel L. Jackson. He doesn't like that the fact that they're an interracial couple. He don't like that at all, and he does some things to try to get them out the neighborhood. Yeah. Oh Lord, they got Baby Boy. Oh, they have Baby Boom. One of you guys said that um that was one of your favorites. You know, I have never seen Baby Boom. When distant relatives drop a baby girl in her lap, a workaholic Manhattan business exec ready to be made partner has a life changing choice to make. I'm gonna have to watch it. You know what? Let me add that to my list. I like my list. I like this thing in Tubi on the app. You can add obviously things to your little profile and it will save movies. Welcome home, Roscoe Jenkins. That is really funny. That cast is amazing. You have Martin Lawrence. You got Monique, Cedric the Entertainer. Who else? Margaret Avery, Mike Epps, Nicole Parker, James Earl Jones. That's a really good comedy film. I like that. Oh, they got Charlie's Angels. The show. Do they have all the seasons? Oh, they have the first 5 seasons. I got into Charlie's Angels back when I was younger. Y'all know I'm old school. Like old things. Um, my favorite has always been Jacqueline Smith's character, Kelly. Um, I did like Cheryl Ladd, but Jacqueline Smith has always been my favorite. Yeah, but they have some good amount of movies in here. They got Drumline. Oh Lord, I've seen that billions of times. ATL, Flight, that was good with Denzel Washington. Oh, that was good. Oh yeah, they got some good movies. You know, I've never seen Hotel Rwanda with Don Cheadle. Did he get an Academy Award nomination for that? Yeah, that was the refugees during the what Rwanda genocide, I believe. I gotta get my mind right to read to watch that. You know what? Movie that I also want to see, which is very random, but I think the reason why is because my sister and I were talking about it. Have you guys seen the? It's a cartoon. Have you guys seen the cartoon, The Hunchback of Notre Dame? Um, I did not know that there was a second movie, like it was a straight to DVD movie to that, because you know, like Quasimodo, if y'all know The Hunchback by Victor Hugo, never read the book, but I know what happened at the end, which is beyond tragic. But you know, in the film, you know, in the cartoon, Quasimodo obviously is the form, and of course he don't have nobody. So when she told me no, the cartoon, the second movie, like he got a little love interest, I was like, oh, I really want to see that, but I want to see the first one and then the second one, which I remember watching it as a kid, and it's really, even though it's a cartoon, it's actually not for kids. I think if I had a child, they would have to be a little bit older for them to watch that, because there's some sexual innuendos, but that movie, in my opinion, is not for like little kids. Every now and again, I will want to watch like a little cartoon. It'll be random. Like my favorite Disney film is Beauty and the Beast, which is like every black girl. If you notice, Beauty and the Beast is like every black girl's favorite Disney film. That's like my all time favorite, and I think also the fact that it came out the year that I was born. I was born in '91. I do love The Little Mermaid. That's the second favorite of mine. Not really a fan of Lion King. Aladdin. What else? There's so many. Like the Disney Renaissance. That's what I like. Those are like mainly like the ones I always watch. Because I can't stand Snow White. I don't like Lady and the Tramp. Um, yeah. I remember going to see The Princess and the Frog when it came out. I was a senior in high school when that came out, and I remember actually going to see that. And then a day that it came out on DVD, I remember going to Walmart and getting it. And I actually have, I think I asked for that for Christmas a couple years ago in my stocking. Um, I like it. I One thing I would say, the voodoo, I don't like that because I don't do no voodoo. Um, I think the reason why I like it is both sides of my family's from Louisiana, so like that Creole, aspect and the Southern Louisiana aspect. It's like that's my family, and the fact that I didn't grow up in Louisiana, but I feel like I'm like an honorary Louisiana person, because that's all that I heard growing up. Kind of like a love hate relationship with that movie. Again, the voodoo not down with, but that is something that happens in Louisiana, especially New Orleans. Um, and also, I didn't like the fact that she was a frog basically most of the movie. But again, like the actor Nicanoni Rose who plays Tiana does a voice. She says like you got to kind of focus on the adventure that she has, and clearly, you know, she is when she does that. Clearly, with the adventures that she goes on, she's mostly a frog. Which I'm like, yeah and no, Anika, that you was getting coins, okay? But I love the music. Um, there's still some little things that I think, like her theme song. You know how all Disney princesses have a theme song. Why is hers called Almost There? Almost There. It's a bop, but and then her being a cook and her not having the money and all that. Like, come on now. So just little things like that. But overall, I like the movie. It sounded like I didn't like the movie, but I like the movie. Yeah, I like the movie, and the music is fantastic. Um, so yeah, but yeah, every once in a while, I'll want to watch like a cartoon or Disney movie. I was trying to, I think 2 weeks ago or last week, I was watching Daria. You guys remember Daria used to come on MTV? No, that's not a cartoon for children. That's not a cartoon for children at all. It's like I would say high school and college. Now, what am I reading? I'm still reading Yellow Wife. Y'all know that's my book. Um, I am like slowly reading it because I don't want it to end. But I did get a good amount of it. I mean, we're already at, I think Phoebe has had her first baby. I don't want to ruin for anyone that yeah has not read it. I'm reading that, and then yesterday we had our book club discussion for Lex Reads Book Club. We had such a fantastic discussion. We read for this month Coleman Hill by Kim Coleman Foote, and again an amazing discussion. Um, even though that wasn't like a even though that book wasn't my favorite, I still love our book club discussions because I get even more insight and just seeing everyone's different perspectives. It is we had a really good time yesterday. So now that's done. Look, y'all, this is my mind. So that book, if you have read it, it's trauma. It's a lot of trauma. And I always say when trauma when it deals with children, it kind of tugs at my heart because I don't like to read a lot of books that the children are suffering, especially if they're black. I'm just be honest, little black kids. So if you read that book, them kids went through it, right? And I wanted like I wanted a light read after reading that. Why did I pick up again my mind? Light read, right? I picked up this book. I'll put it on the screen, which I'm a little ashamed to even tell y'all this is what I'm reading. I'm ashamed of the picture, but I'm gonna put it right here. Okay, we're done. So that is called Plie by A.H. Cunningham. It is the Wicked Move series. There's 2 books in the series. This book, y'all, again, like I said, I want to cleanse my palate. I wanted a light read. You have a young girl. She is a dancer. She owns a studio, and she does that for a living, right? But at night, she indulges in some other passions that she has. Yeah. So But her studio is suffering because kids are dropping out of the studio. She's losing students, and the financial woes are really getting to her. So she has to turn her other passion, which is basically sex work. Um, she has to do that in order to keep the lights on. And then you have the male point of view. His daughter goes to her school, and like they don't like each other. He can't stand her. He can't stand her. He thinks the school is like real raggedy and stuff like that. But y'all know, like he really does. He can't stand her, but he likes her. And it looks like they're gonna get to together again. I said I wanted something light, and this is my version of light. Yeah. So far, I'm actually liking it. I started it last night, and I read almost 50 pages. And I said, okay, girl, you gotta go to sleep so you can get up in the morning. But yeah, I do want to. So yeah, I started that, and then I'm going to also start the second book in the series. Now, it's smut. It's enemy to lovers. It's erotica. If you don't like that, especially erotica, this is not a book for you to read. I know erotica, you have to take it in doses. For me, I know I do have to take it in doses because a lot of stuff they be doing it sometimes it don't be normal. But I can take it every now and then, and I haven't read an erotica in quite some time. I think it's been over a year, almost 2 years. So yes, and if you have Kindle Unlimited, it is on there. So I'm reading that, and then of course I'm reading Tess of the D'Urbervilles. I did drop my first video of Black Girl Reads That. I'll put that down below if you guys haven't watched it yet. So yeah, those are the two books. I need to update this Goodreads because it still has Real on here by Kennedy Ryan, and I'm going to take a break from that, which today she released the cover reveal for the second book in that series, the Hollywood Renaissance. Um, and it looks very, very pretty. But you know how you just don't feel a book right now? I'm just not in that mood to read it. I thought I was. It was on my TBR for this year, and I have a physical copy, and I also have it on my Kindle. But I'm just not in the mood to read that right now. So I'm gonna hold off. If I'm not in the mood to read it, I'm not in the mood to read it. I'm not gonna force myself to read a book. Um, yeah, but I I think when that second book comes out, I'll probably pick this up again and then want to read the second book, in conjunction with it. So yeah, we go wait on that because I think that second book comes out um later next year. Right now I'm only gonna be reading those two books. Oh, and then I got The Scammer by Tiffany D. Jackson. You guys were talking about that in the comments, and it really did intrigue me. Um, I've only read one Tiffany D. Jackson book, which was The Weight of the Blood, and I was shocked that I actually liked it because it is considered horror. But I think the reason why I could navigate it is because it was a YA novel. But this one, I believe it's also a YA novel, right? Yeah, it's a young adult novel. And I think what intrigued me is it's based on a true story, inspired by a true story. So for this one, you have a young girl. She goes to historical black college. She's kind of estranged from her family, I think. She's in a dorm, and her roommate's brother comes to live with them, and he just got out of prison. And then one of the roommates ends up missing, and she has to basically figure out, or wants to know what's going on and she's, suspicious of the brother. But I was watching an interview with Tiffany D. Jackson. As I told you guys, I like to, when I start a book, if there's an interview of the author talking about the book, I like to read it. I like to watch it. And she said that there was a man, um, what did she say? Can y'all believe it? Sarah Lawrence College. Why would you move into your child's dorm and then manipulate her friends and all that? What kind of nonsense? I did not know anything about this story. And it's recent. That was in 2022 at Sarah Lawrence College. I'm curious, was that man white? Oh yeah. Man who lived in daughter's Sarah Lawrence College dorm convicted of sex trafficking, forced labor, and other federal crimes. Now, why would he do that? What? He said he used psychological abuse, threats, and violence to try to control the lives of his victims. Wait, 12 years ago, he moved into his daughter's dorm room and said, why are they convicting him now? 12 years ago. So he's 62. Okay, what did he get? He got a minimum sentence of 15 years and a maximum of life in prison. Also, how do you move into your daughter's dorm? I mean, I lived in dorms. I went, uh, and they were real strict. Like, you know, yeah. I don't know how that happened. Well, you never know. Because now that I'm thinking about it, they didn't come in and do any like clean or anything like that. You had to do that. Yeah, no, you could easily do that. Yeah. Because only time they expected the dorm is when you had to leave, when the semester was over. So yeah, you could easily have somebody in there. Yeah, you could. Yeah. Huh. Okay, so I am going to take this makeup off. Yeah. Okay, guys, I am back. When I tell you I am comfortable with you guys, I mean, no bra, drying mask on. We real raw, okay? Today, I ended up making taco salad, and I didn't have any more of the tortilla chips because I ate them all yesterday. So, but I did, but just in case, I bought like some tortilla. I bought some tortillas, and I ended up switching out the ground beef for turkey meat, which is really good. I have really been enjoying going to Aldi's. What I've been doing is after my workout, I've just been going straight there because it's one that's like 5 minutes away from me, and their stuff is surprisingly cheap. I'm debating if I want to read a little bit or if I want to watch something. Earlier, I was thinking about watching something. I was saying I was going to finish that movie. Actually, I was going to start it over, but I don't know if I have the brain capacity to start that over. It's kind of like just pick up where I left off. I don't think I have a lot. Let's see. Right. Oh, I have like 36 minutes left. Yeah. So I could do that. And then I do want to get back into Yellow Wife, of course. Usually I have like 3 books in rotation. Right now I have what? 2? Well, technically, I would say that third book by Gray Huffington, I've been talking about that for the past like month, almost going on 2 months. The Malachi, I cannot get into it. But I'm still sticking to it because I think I'm like 58%, so I'm more than halfway through. I just want to get through this one because I think I might like the second one, which let's just see what the second one is actually about. That magical realism type thing, it's just not working for me. And they got Mary Monroe. That's another author that I have never read, and I have. Oh, I know I got some Mary Monroe up in here. Oh, I have, yeah, is it God Don't Like Ugly series? I got a couple books from there. I think, well, actually, maybe one. One of them really did intrigue me. These covers are very, very pretty. I'm trying to figure out where I got these from. I do not remember. Was it Lost Daughters? Yo, I did not remember buying these books. This is the time where if it was black, I was getting it, especially if it was an older book, an older author, I was getting them. I think I probably got these from Library Sales. I think that's the one that she's like well known for. Remember, I had started that because I wanted to listen to something. Like, do you guys get that feeling where sometimes or that mood, I get in the mood of wanting to listen to an audiobook, and I was trying to find one, and I remember this was available, and I needed a quick fix basically, but then I ended up getting distracted and getting another book, I think a physical book. But sometimes I get on kicks and moods of wanting to listen to an audiobook. And I remember starting this, and it was really interesting in the beginning. Like, it wasn't boring, I just got distracted. But let me see how many. I was going to actually start this, I remember, series. I never did. There's 6 books in the series. Okay, so it's not that many. It looks like the last book that came out from this series was 2012. Yeah, have you guys read the God Don't Like Ugly series? They have readers also enjoy Fly Girl. I wasn't really a fan of Fly Girl, to be honest with you. That was actually our first book ever for Lex Reads Book Club, and it didn't really do anything for me. I've only read one of his books, which is that book, and I know that's a series too of Fly Girl, because you mean what's her, not Tanya? Is her name Tanya? Tracy. I know it was with a T. I think there's like 3 books in that series, and we see Tracy, when she is older. But yeah, that didn't really do anything for me. They also have Readers Enjoy Zane by Readers Enjoy Addicted by Zane. Now, I don't have that book. You know what? My idiot self. I had bought that book, I remember, at Second and Charles, and didn't read. I saw the cover and I was like, oh yes, Zane Addicted. I wanted to read it. Well, when I got home, I realized that it was in Spanish. So I think I ended up getting rid of that book. But I saw the movie a couple years ago. The movie came out, and the crazy thing is, I remember I saw it with my sister. We didn't know that that was a book. We didn't know that, that was an erotica book. We just thought it was just just a story. And I remember our little cousin was like, oh, that's like, she writes eroticas. And we were like, yeah, no. And that's during the time where I wasn't reading. But that movie was really good. I honestly did enjoy the movie. And then I have read some of Zane's other books, and like one of the main character that was in Addicted, Zoe, I believe, she is actually in one of her books. Oh, what's the one book that I like by her? Is it I think it's Nervous. Yeah. Is it Nervous? Yeah, it's Nervous. Because that one, for Nervous, the young lady, she has like a personality disorder. So she's like normal during the daytime, or like, she's like normal. And then she all of a sudden turns like a different person, and that's when she does like a lot of sexual acts, and she do stuff she ain't got no business doing, but she has a disorder. But Zoe comes up in this book. But I remember when I was reading, I was like, wait, is that the Zoe from Addicted? Again, I've only seen the film. I have not read the book, which I do want to read the book, because I did enjoy the movie. And I think the thing I like about Zane, because I have read her, other books, is she has a story. It's a storyline. No shade, but shade to 50 Shades of Grey. That's just all sex. You know what I mean? And again, I know it's an erotica, but like, she don't know how to write, because even when you get to the nitty gritty of the 50 Shades of Grey, it's like, oh, well, I'm into the dominatrix and all of that because a lady turned me out. I'm like, that was the big group. Like, it was kind of like, oh, why are you the way you are? And then when you learn it's because of that, it's like, oh, okay. And then also it start turning into like a little kidnapping spy type of movie. Granted, I've only watched, I think, the first movie. The other ones I just could not take. But then I saw reviews and spoilers, and people were talking about it. I'm like, wait, is this supposed to be like a thriller kidnapping? Like, no. Again, her, actually, I take it back. I did read the first book, 50 Shades of Grey, and that was horrible. Because, like, the way that you would think, like, Christian Grey can, like, put it down. No. he can't. You know what I mean? He into whips and chains. I'm like, oh, that's what that is. It just wasn't nothing for me. I mean, not like I'm into any of that stuff, but you know what I mean? Like, again, there's no depth to it. And with Zane, even though she writes in eroticas can have a little bit of depth. You know what I mean? And I think that's the beauty of a good storyteller, and why, with Zane, for example, her books are erotic. It's about sex, but it's also, like I said, a storyline. When it comes to Zoe, when you really get in the nitty gritty of, you find out why she is, when it comes to sex, she has this addiction. Why are you addicted to sex? You know what I mean? And you really get into the nitty gritty of it. I like that. I like the way that she, you know, um, I like the way the story is told. Again, I've only watched the movie, so I know that the movie and the book is going to be different. But I have read other books by Zane, and I tell you, they have all been 4 to 5 stars. And to me, with her eroticas, they don't come off as just vulgar. You know what I mean? They don't. And then it's a story. She has a plot. But if you notice, she doesn't get the praise and recognition. Like when that 50 Shades of Grey came out, that was like a phenomenon. Everybody was acting like that was such a. And when I saw that movie, read that first book, I said, "Oh, this is what this is about." Like, what's the deal, girl? No, but I would recommend Zane if you guys are into eroticas, or if you want to start with an erotica. Like the first erotica I ever read by her, it was Zane. That was the first author I started with, and it was, I believe, is it Afterburn, which that was deep. You gotta get your mind right. Well, no, you don't have to get your mind right, but it was deep. It was deep because at first I was just thinking, again, you have the notion of eroticas. It's just going to be, you have the notions of eroticas. It's just going to be full of sex, and although it is full of sex, but with hers there is a storyline. They're not just jumping into bed every 5 seconds. For me, when I read For Shades of Grey, it was like, okay, the anticipation, because he had all those stupid rules and stuff like that. But it was like every second. I mean, it was like they didn't do anything except that. With Zane, no. Especially with Afterburn, it's a love story, basically. It is. It's a love story. And it's a sad love story, but it's a love story. I think my last book I read by Zane, which I don't think, you know what? That was the one I did not like. I only gave it 2 stars. It was Headbangers. The name, y'all. It was not good at all. I did not like that. And on Goodreads they gave it a 4 star. I gave it a 2 star, which was okay. It was set in, these are 2 young girls. I believe they were twins or something like that. And I know they were sisters. And it was their senior year of college or something. But they're in this like sorority. But the sorority is basically you meet men and sleep with them. And one of them had been with the guy that they like, and they end up switching places. Yeah, they were twins. They end up switching places, or something kind of like that. And the guy knew it wasn't the girl, that it wasn't the right twin, but he didn't say nothing. It was a whole horrible thing. It was not good. I did not like that. I think because those girls were young, they were 21. uh, no doubt they just needed a little bit more growing up. I don't like that. I tend to, if I'm gonna read an erotica, I want you to be grown. 20 and 21, 22, that's a baby to me. Okay, that's like Claire Huxtable would say, that's a child. Now you need I can take mid 20s, and then you go into them 30s, 40s, okay. But early 20s, that's a kid. And then you're still in college, your senior year, you don't know what you're doing. I know for me, thought I knew everything and didn't know anything. Overall, I do like Zane. I mean, again, if I would, if a person never read any eroticas and if they wanted to get into that genre, I would automatically always recommend Zane, like the first go around. And then then you can explore other authors. But like Black Erotica, she is like the queen of it, in my opinion. You know what? I decided, I think I'm going to read. I want to read. It's 9:47 now, so I want to at least read until 10:30 to 11, and then I'm going to go to sleep. I can watch this little movie tomorrow. Um, yeah, because you know what? I said I was going to just pick off where I left off, but I think I want to start over to really understand it even more. So I can do that tomorrow. But yeah, I want to take this face mask off, wash it, and I want to read some more Yellow Wife. So yeah, guys, that is it when it comes to today's video. I'm going to start doing these either weekly or, you know, every other week. But yeah, guys, thank you again for spending some time with me tonight. And I'll be back with more Black books.